0.001%.
Kids struggle to convey how the human brain works when it comes to expressing emotions and different feelings. The characters in Riley's head are seemingly in control of her feelings and actions based on what they do. In reality, a person has more control over their emotions than the movie portrays. We can use these emotions to choose the actions that we take. This includes acting out on our emotions, keeping them in, or doing things to change them. Sorry kids, there isn't a little joy running around your head controlling your actions. It's up to you to use your joyful feelings in whatever way you choose. Another problem. The world's filled with memories.
They're not problems! Ah!
Special islands used to form personalities is not as accurate as it seems. While memories can shape a personality, it is controlled by a variety of characteristics that are not directly related to all memories.
This is fantasy, not falsehood, and I'm just gonna turn on the light so we can see the video better.
Cars 2. Cars 2 is not only one of the more disappointing Disney sequels, but it was a weak entry in the Pixar universe overall.
It was no week! Lots of merchandise lines and books and even an app are based on the film, are based on this. If it were weak, then all of them would be based on Cars 1 and this.
The movie completely ditches the ideals of the original and sends the characters around the world on nonsensical spy missions.
They are not. Nope, not. It doesn't completely ignore it. Racing is still in this.
As Lightning McQueen and Tow Mater travel around the world, they visit many real-world locations. To help fit into the plot, many elements were changed from the actual locations. For example, one key race scene in the movie showcases the infamous Admiralty Arch building in London that vehicles can drive under. There are 3 arches at the bottom of the building that cars zoom through in the animation. In real life, only 2 of those arches are open for driving. The center one is left closed and only accessed for emergencies or special events.
And the race is a special event. You're getting this. You are being inaccurate here.
Speaking of London, the Union Jack flag displayed at multiple races has been animated wrong. In Cars 2, the flag features all of the white stripes in the same width and style. On the real Union Jack, the stripes are different. Flag features all of the white stripes in the same width and style. On the real Union Jack, the stripes are different widths to help accommodate the red stripes that go between them. Don't use the film's information for any geography quizzes.
No. They look identical. Who cares about 0.00 minimal changes? Who cares about those absolutely minimal changes? You're being a perfectionist and you are being a Nazi. That's right. I consider people who consider fantasies falsehoods to have the same idea, to have the same fascist ideas as 1930s Germany.
This is going nowhere fast. We really should go, Grandmother.
One moment. I would like to see where this is going.
Current event history isn't their strong suit either. During the end credits scene of the film, a newspaper depicts Mater getting knighted by the Queen. Oddly, the newspaper reads Tuesday, July 15th, 2011. That day in history was actually a Friday. This is the
Calendar's being different in this franchise.
a strange error that could have easily been fixed.
Fantasy.
What? I thought Fox, get off the runway!
Disney's Planes. At first glance, the Disney animated film Planes looked like a blatant ripoff of Cars.
No, it is a spin-off! For February is a ripoff of Cars. Clarence is a ripoff of Sanji and Craig. Why? Why are
Despite the similar themes, Planes is actually a pretty original movie that made over $250 million at the box office.
$250 million? The Good Dinosaur made $332.2 million. And yet you're saying that a lesser than that would be a box office hit. And when you're saying something more would be a box office bomb? That is so inaccurate. It's hilarious.
That doesn't mean that the movie isn't without fault. The story
Isn't without fault because of the writing being story
of Planes alone is a typical underdog tale, but it showcases a lot of unrealistic flying elements.
unrealistic in real life, but realistic in this movie.
The main character of the story is a crop duster named Dusty. He dreams of being a successful racing plane, but the truth is that no matter how many upgrades you add to a crop duster, it would never be able to compete against all of the other racing planes. Oh, great.
Not, I was, but upgrades are much more prominent in this franchise.
Not only is Dusty's heroic win nearly impossible, but the races themselves could not be held the way they are in the film. The planes easily fly over entire oceans on just a single gallon of gas. If planes represented true life, then poor Dusty would be hanging out at some type of crash landing with the legendary lost female pilot, Amelia Earhart.
Fuel consumption is much slower in this universe.
Late in the film, Dusty suffers a terrible crash into the ocean water. It doesn't take long for him to re-enter the race, but in real life, that plane would have seen its last flight into the skies. The saltwater, pressure, and impact damage would have prevented Dusty from flying ever again, or any type of sequel from getting made.
It's harder to damage stuff beyond repair in that franchise.
Big Hero 6. The futuristic superhero film Big Hero 6 takes us into a fictional world filled with cities inspired by modern metropolises.
Specifically Tokyo and San Francisco, but this is one thing that could actually make sense. Here we're shown one thing that could actually make sense.
Baymax, a healthcare robot created by one of the characters. Throughout the course of the movie, Baymax delivers health diagnoses and uses his medical knowledge to help a lot of different characters. He is programmed with more than 10,000 different health ailments. The design of Baymax was so impressive that IBM is creating something similar known as Watson Health. The only problem? Baymax may need to brush up on his health skills.
Always wait 1 hour after eating before swimming.
While many children have heard this same health advice while growing up, it's just not true. You will not get cramps or any other stomach pains if you eat and go swimming right after. Baymax simply gave bad advice and spread an old wives' tale that parents have been telling their children for years.
All of this stuff, well, you might actually have a point. But, yeah, this might actually be another false statement. Be a false statement from Baymax, but you should blame the people who invented that misconception.
The original story that this was based off of was a small article published way back in 1908. Considering that Big Hero 6 is set in the future, you would think that the filmmakers would have done a little extra research before using a line like that.
No, it was based on a Marvel comic of the same name. You're being inaccurate!
MOANA. One of Disney's more recent hits was MOANA. The musical is a beautifully animated tale that follows the story of a young girl named MOANA who feels inspired to travel the seas and help discover new lands for her tribe. The movie is inspiring, features great music, and the water animation is some of the best ever seen in a Disney film. During production of the movie, Disney went out of their way to try and showcase authentic views of the culture found in Polynesian culture. Despite so much research, there were many things wrong with this film.
No, many fantasies with this film.
The character of Maui is showcased as a solo demigod that has a lot of powers. In the traditional story of Maui, he was accompanied by a goddess named Hina. Hina is actually the one who gave Maui all of his powers, but she is not even mentioned in the film. Maui gets all of the credit when he should have been accompanied by Hina for the epic adventure.
I see a strong, confident, beautiful young lady. Oh, look, you're here too.
Tangled. What could go wrong with a classic fairy tale about an entrapped girl that has magically long hair? Well, a lot of things, actually.
They just can't get
No,
The
nothing.
updated tale of Rapunzel actually has a lot of entertaining moments despite some of its glaring mistakes.
No. Movie mistakes are things that... Movie mistakes are errors that are in movies. Like, one moment something is there, and the next nothing is done to it, and it's gone.
One of the biggest mistakes comes early in the movie. As Rapunzel
Refer to what I said?
/prison, she uses a match to light some candles. While the quick scene would mostly go unnoticed by viewers, someone with keen eyes picked up on the fact that quick strike matches were not invented until the year of 1805. The creators of Tangled have claimed that the story takes place around the year 1780. Either she has some type of special time machine, or the creators just got lazy with the details.
1778 is when those matches were introduced in this franchise. I'm getting so mad!
The fashion of 1780 is also a lot different than it is represented in the film.
No!
Rapunzel's scenes at the end of the movie, the Disney princess should be wearing some more traditional clothing than casual and more modern. Same goes for other characters that roam around the village at the end of the movie. Using realistic costumes may have lost some of the fun touch, but could have represented true fabrics and designs of the times.
No!
Which movies do you feel like had the biggest lies?
Nothing!
Any of them ruin the movie? And should Disney present more truthful versions for any huge Disney?
No! I'm being so mad. I need to calm down. Want some untriggering? Here you go. PhantomStrider. I'm going to heal.
Alright, Disney, your turn. It's time to check out the unrivaled masterpieces of the greatest animation studio of all time, Walt Disney. When Disney puts their minds to it, this studio has changed the history of Western animation. Nowadays, for every one lousy movie, Disney gives us 3 sensational. Disney movie of all time is
This is what Mary Poppins truly
Mary
is.
Poppins. I wanted to be progressive about this, but no matter how I looked at it, Mary Poppins just had to be in my top 2. It is just a non-stop roller coaster of thrills, perfect dances, timeless tunes, and beautiful scenes.
Just so
I really didn't
underrated.
expect this movie to hold up as well as an
Calm
adult,
down.
but it somehow left an even more profound impact on me as an adult. Every character, every scene, every song is among the most memorable of all of Disney. Over the years, whenever I've been in low spirits in some lousy job, I often found myself suddenly humming chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiree. Dick Van Dyke and Julie Andrews' performances weren't just good. They were so phenomenal that they still get celebrated half a century later. Just seeing Dick Van Dyke dance is one of the most energizing experiences I can give myself. And Julie Andrews is just the right balance of mysterious, yet elegant at the same time.
First of all, I would like to make one thing quite clear.
Yes.
I never explain anything.
Many people may disagree with me on this choice, but to me, this was Walt's masterwork. This was the moment when Walt put all of his heart and all of his soul into his work. Every camera angle, every character choice, every musical chord. No matter what age I watch this at, it still remains just a thrill, only getting better with age. And it shouldn't. It's from the freaking 60s. This should be outdated as hell. But somehow, Walt has magically made this movie stand for half a century. I mean, there are moments that are a little too sweet by today's standards, but to me, Mary Poppins isn't just a great movie, it is a magic movie. I don't care if Travis hated it. Walt moved the world with his movie, and I am glad for every change he made. And before we get to number 1, I'd like to fly through a couple of
That was so beautiful. Mary Poppins and fantasies, they're just so underrated.